No sound, of course not. Because with all my moving around, I had accidentally muted my mic. So, hello everyone. Let me start over again. Hello, hello. Yes, I figured it out. Um, I wanted to welcome you to the show. It's Valentine's Day. A lot of people are, of course, upset that they didn't get anything from Valentine's Day. My mic is unmuted now, so I don't know why you can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay. I unmuted it a while ago, but I don't know what happened. Everybody was still typing that they couldn't hear me. Yeah, I was moving around, getting everything ready. I guess I bumped the mute button accidentally. So there you go. Usually I check it, but I didn't today, and of course that's when it was muted. Um, So what I wanted to say was, welcome to the show. What I want to do is kind of walk people through because even though I talk a lot about relationships here, I've noticed the trends that people have a lot of unreasonable expectations when it comes to their love life and what they think they should have and what they want and what they not gonna settle for and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm all for not settling, trust me. But there comes a point when, maybe you should look at what you're thinking you want in a relationship, or what you got to have, or what's right, or what, I mean, this, like, just examine it as we grow and mature. Our tastes and our needs should change accordingly. And some people are still operating off of, Danielle Steele novel, Hollywood high drama, romance, Harlequin, whatever's from their teens and early 20s, and they're still looking for that type of interaction, that type of romance and that kind of drama. So I wanted to talk about this now. I suppose was supposed to be making an outline, and then I don't know why I keep getting carried away. I just type too much. I'd be like, oh yeah, and then I put it down, and by the time I finish, it's almost damn near an article, not just the outline. It has bullet points, but you know what I mean. I put too much in there. But what I want to say is, I was thinking about this today. Somebody, Lady Boss, of course it was Lady Boss, said, fuck Valentine's Day. There's people that are like, I figured out when I was thinking about this today, and kind of watching people grinning, and the people they selling balloons and stuff. People set up things on the corners and at the gas stations and stuff. They got balloons and flowers and stuff, and these men stopping looking all anxious, and the islands like buying these little flowers and stuff in the commute traffic on the way home. It's too funny. But I figure that women fall into three camps. They're in one of these three camps. Number one is those that think Valentine's Day is stupid. They don't want no parts of it. They just like whatever. It's just another day and it's craziness. Or number two, there's those that are really excited about it. They know they look forward to it because they're gonna have some romantic evening with their honey, and he sends flowers to them at the office, or they have a excuse me, at home, and or he cooks dinner and gets a sitter for the kids and whatever. I mean, the dudes really take care of them on Valentine's Day. And so these women really look forward to that celebration and that time of romance and being treated special by their man. Okay, so that's the second type. And the third type are those that would like to be excited and happy, but they single, and they mad that they single, and they mad they didn't get no flowers and candy and no attention, and they mad they don't have nobody. And it's Valentine's Day. So it's one of them three. I'm kind of in the first one. I mean, when I was a little kid, it was cute. I would make sure I get all those little, them little cheap Valentines and put them in a little cheap envelope and write my little classmate's name on it and put tape a sticker to it. And I would give them all to the little kids in my class. I mean, it was a big deal for us, as little children. And then, you get older and then you realize that men are bums and you don't want to do half of them don't pay attention to Valentine's Day, even if you like it, And so, there's this constant stream of disappointment. So when you find a guy who understands how important it is to his woman and he, steps up, it's a nice thing to see. She feels really special and he feels pretty good about making her feel special. That's a good match. And I don't have no problem with that. I think that's great. But anyway, even though this is Valentine's Day, that's really not the topic of the show. What we're going to talk about is women's unrealistic expectations. Well, the expectations of love and relationships, period. Again, into three camps. The unrealistic ones. You looking for that overwhelming feeling of passion and excitement and joy where your heart pounds and you feel breathless when you look at them, and in your mind the sex is just amazing, like rockets go off and all this old kind of stuff. You think that you're going to have happily ever after, that you found, the one, and that you're going to have all kind of, butterflies and never have an argument and all this stuff, right? All these unrealistic things with a man who in your mind is like better than any human being walking the face of the earth. Okay. Number two type are the women who are more balanced, a little bit more realistic. You know that you're gonna love, you want to have a relationship rather where you love and respect each other, but you know that it's gonna take work and there's gonna be friction and there's gonna be times you're gonna have to really work hard together if you want to make your dreams come true. You have to be a team, and so you know what that requires, the negotiation and the compromise, and you're willing to do that. And for you, your relationship is a top priority, so you do everything you can to protect and honor it. Okay, but you understand that it's work, it's commitment to do that work even when you don't feel like it. But those women, I think, have a more realistic idea of what's required. Still a little bit of moon and roses in there, but not so much that it throws them off. And then there's the women who have accepted the hardcore shocking truth about relationships, and that is that sometimes you're going to look at him and you're going to think about why did you marry him, or what are you doing with him, and how you can't stand him, and you're going to stab his ass in the eye. But then you remember, well, yeah, but I do love him though. But then I can't stand he got that mother from Hades who gets on my last fucking nerve, and his kids make me want to just kill him and string him up by and string fly him away on a kite. You have those kind of things, but you love him though. And you show that you love him and everything is good, but you accept that there's negative feelings associated with that love, and then but you just go on and stuff. So those women, I think, have the best chance of having a relationship that lasts, because they really do understand that it's not always going to be rainbows, butterflies, and rose petals, everywhere. It's going to be sometimes where you just really don't want to fucking be bothered. Thank you. I put on makeup. I got some new, this is a Color Pop lippy stick. And I picked this red color because I felt like it was Valentine's Day. And I put on my heart pendant too, in honor of you guys. So my premise is that, falling in love and all of that, having all this romance and marriage and all this stuff, dating stuff, is all great. It can be wonderful and great stuff. But still, the way that most people approach it is unrealistic, and it makes the relationship be highly overrated. All the things associated with the relationship, your expectations of the relationship, your expectations of him, your expectations of what you think you're going to get, all of those things, what love and relationship is going to bring to your life, all this stuff, you just like way off the charts of reality. And so, I think that's going to be part of your disappointment. So let me go into my bullet points. Oh, you love, see, I just discovered Color Pop from my 17-year-old niece. She was like, "Oh, Color Pop." I'm like, "What the hell is that?" So I ordered some for her too, online. All right, now let me go over the bullet points I was thinking about when I was coming up with this show topic. Too many women seem to think that having a relationship is going to save them in some way. think about that, you guys. I'm gonna give you my backup logic for this in a minute, but a lot of men and women, you don't think that the relationship is gonna save them from something. It's gonna save them from being alone. It's gonna save them from feeling empty. It's gonna save them from the embarrassment of being single because maybe they get teased a lot, or they're tired of people always asking, "Well, you ain't got nobody. You can't keep a man. You can't." So having somebody eliminates that from their life. They're tired of hearing it. They don't want to hear it anymore. And in some instances, they think that having a relationship is going to save them from themselves. Bad choices that they've made, living in some rinky-dink place. They want to have, a guy so they can move in with him or something. I mean, there's all kind of reasons. And other women will put their life on hold waiting for some man to come along. And the women who do that, like say they say, "Oh, well, I want to buy some property." But they don't want to do it while they're single. They want to wait until they get in a relationship or get married so they can get it with this man instead of, living their life and making their dreams and their goals come true. They put everything on hold waiting for this relationship to happen. I'm sure you guys have met women like that. You know, I know I can't be the only one. And these are the women who feel like having a relationship validates them. It makes them feel worthy. That having a man is like this is how they feel desirable and whole or something. It's really bizarre. But if they don't have a man, they feel like there's something wrong with them. They feel flawed, they feel less than, and they feel bad. And so when they get this relationship, they feel like it validates them and it gives them, even they say that it gives them self esteem, which I don't get that because self is supposed to come from self, not from somebody else, but whatever. And, that's really, so they're looking at a relationship to define them. So to me, that's overrating a relationship. It's not supposed to be about, being your life raft to you living your life. And my second point, other women are so into that Hollywood type of romance that they are perfect prey for guys that love to do the full court press, or what y'all talked about the other day. You guys call it love bombing. I call it the full court press. And they be looking for that fiery passion, where they can't keep their hands off each other. They're screwing 5 times a day, and yeah, they are dizzy. They can't. They keep talking to each other. They have to be up on each other every second. That's what they're looking for. That like breathtaking, overwhelming, dizzying kind of thing. Then there's women who lose themselves when they get into a relationship. They forget that they're not a Siamese twin joined at the hip. It's okay to have your own friends, your own activities, your own interests and stuff. You don't have to be up under him every second, doing everything he does and going with him everywhere he wants to go. That's like, what are you doing? You're like choking dude. And then my fourth one is the point to make that, you, even in spite of women's desire to have all these things right away. Uh-oh, my phone is talking to me. Just talking to me. You you have to give real love take time to develop. I mean, there's just no way around it. You have to spend that time. And sometimes even when you spend the time, then you end up falling out of love because you realize what you thought you was in love with is not the person that you thought he was, and so now you don't love this ass no more, and then you guys break up. That's what happens. Oh, really? Lori's saying that's interesting. Lori, you never told me that. Well, I'm glad you found your way over here. I'm glad you did. Okay, now let's talk about some of the ways that love and relationships and dating suck. First of all, let me stop and interject. Okay, I was on Facebook this morning, supposed to be asleep. I've been awake since 2 a.m. I don't, I do? I missed it. Well, I used to be able to see them on here. What happened? They must have changed the software again. I don't see it. But anyway, whoever gave the super chat, thank you. Thanks for letting me know, Lady Boss, because I sure didn't see it this time. Hmm. Last couple of times I have. This is unbelievable. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you got these men and you want to be up on the. Dude can't even fart without you smelling it. Leave dude alone sometimes. Let him go be with his male friends and stuff. They can scratch their balls in peace and watch football and talk about stupid shit that don't no woman want to hear. I mean, you know what I mean? Men are just weird. So sometimes, you need to just give him his space and stop thinking that you need to be up under him every second. It makes him just be stupid and it makes you be stupid too. I mean, you come together as whole people, not like looking for somebody else to quote complete you. Okay, so let's talk about the ways love and relationships suck. Number one, it demands that we find a person who accepts us for who we are, or we can never be truly happy. Now, sometimes somebody's going to like 90% of who you are, and that other 10% they're going to take it or leave it. You don't see what's going on? Wonder what's happening here. Let me change. Let me close that out and restart the application. Hold on, y'all. I'm seeing on my end maybe it's something changed. I don't know what's going on here. Hmm. Well, we'll see. My back is itching now. Oh, so what I saw this morning on Facebook was I forgot what I was going to say. I got so distracted. I'm so sleepy. Anyway, we demand that we find a person who accepts us for who we are, or we can never be truly happy. So accepting us, they might like the 90%, like I was starting to say, the 90% of you, but that other 10% they're not maybe don't like that much, or they can work with it, but it's like, if they had their druthers, they would do something different, but they didn't. They're not gonna like toss you away for it, but you might be feeling some kind of way about the 10%, not looking at, well, the 90% is cool. You feeling some kind of way about the 10% because you want them to love you unconditionally and all this old shit. And, everybody has flaws. I mean, just accept that your partner's going to love you, flaws and all. You don't have to, your little quirks and your little irritable habits and all the other stuff that you do. They're gonna still love you for it. Don't feel like you're like some critically rejected person because they have some complaints about you. That's kind of minor. Maybe you fart too much. I don't know. Soulmates. There's another thing I put on here that's overrated. Oh my God! If somebody else tells me about soulmates one more time, my soulmate. I'm like, where do you guys get this shit from? That drives me crazy. So you pass by a lot of people who are fabulous people for you and looking for this one magical soulmate person that's supposed to be this one person on this entire planet of however many billion people, and you gonna hold out for that. Yeah, I don't remember what it was I saw on Facebook at 2 a.m. It'll come to me though. It'll come to me. I'll think about it. It's come to me after I finish the show. You know how that is. I'm getting old. What can I tell you? Leave me alone. All right, so let's talk about this soulmate thing. People want to feel like their soulmate is like their best friend. Have you heard that? I want somebody who could be my best friend. Why? Why you got to have all of that in one person? Don't you think that's a lot of responsibility to put on one person to be your everything? And this one, I read this article where they were talking about what they called emotion ships. And I thought, oh, this is a very interesting comment. I mean, concept rather. Emotion ships, and it says their emotion ships matter more. And they ask people to identify people in their lives that say, like, would cheer you up when you're sad. Um, Call them when you're calm you down when you're being anxious. Calm you down when you're upset and angry. Share their happiness over good news, or analyzing their anger. So these would be people that are, you have that kind of close emotional connection to. And sometimes it was one person, and sometimes it was more than one. But in this research study, they found that participants could easily, specifically identify friends who are particularly good and help them with regulating particular emotions. I thought, now this is just brilliant. And the people they nominated really did seem to have emotional specialists in meaningful ways. Specifically, friends who are especially good at helping with a particular emotion are the friends who first come to mind when you are experiencing that emotion. Say, for example, you just relived in your mind an experience with a family member that made you sad. if you then listed the five friends in the order they came to mind, the friend best at cheering you up when you're sad is especially likely to be the one that you put first. Isn't that interesting? So I thought, now this might be a good thing for you guys to do, is to think about this. Who do you have emotionships with outside of a romantic partner? Who can you go to when you're feeling down or angry and upset? Who's going to make you laugh and bring your spirits up? Who's going to do that for you? I have another super chat. See, I'm not seeing them today. But anyway, thank you guys for telling me, because the last couple of weeks I've been able to see them. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, they will stay because they think they're soulmates. But I'm like, how you gonna have a soulmate that gets on your fucking nerves and treats you poorly? Where they do that at? I don't get that. So, to me, this emotion ship thing was a brilliant concept. I had never heard of it. I just looked up on it, playing around on the web, and it also says when you're experiencing a particular emotion, you feel closer to the person best at helping you with that emotion than you do your other friends. You also want to spend more time with that person, with that emotional specialist, and are more satisfied with that relationship. So basically, what it's saying is, you ladies who are putting all this on men when you know that men are not the best at handling emotions and being empathetic and stuff. You're setting yourself up for a downfall and to feel crushed and hurt. These emotion ships are the things that you should connect with other women. And it can be someone in your family. It can be, friends from college, someone from the neighborhood, the mommy and me group. I mean, whatever kind of friendships that you've had established with people, you know, avail yourself of those when you experiencing those emotions. Don't look for your man to be your everything. He's gonna feel overwhelmed and overburdened, and you're gonna feel disappointed and sad because he can't meet those expectations. It's unrealistic. Yes, thank you guys for thanking people for me. I wish I could see them. Isn't that very interesting? So think about that, ladies. Who can you go to? Who got your back in that kind of way? Who makes you feel heard and supported and calms you down and makes you laugh when you're sad or depressed or angry, or who talks you off the cliff? Think about those people, and then reach out to them and let them know that you appreciate them. So that was one thing that I wanted to point out as what I feel is an unrealistic expectation, that women have of relationship. They overrate this soulmate thing of being best friends with your man. That is like, I would never say, even when I was married, he wasn't my best friend, and he knew he wasn't my best friend because he would make me sick too much. And who was I going to go to complain to about him if I didn't have another best friend? Come on now. You know how you got to do? Oh, girl, he gets on my last nerve. And then you and your friend, come on, girl, let's go out and have a drink and talk about it. And you guys go out, and before you know it, your friend got you. And you forget all about him and his stupidity. And then you go home and you be in a good mood, and everything is gravy. That's why you got to have good female friends. You got to. All right, another thing that I think is overrated with love and relationships is the fantasy that love is going to make you this better person. That's going to teach you wonderful things, and understanding and compassion and empathy and all of this kind of stuff. Love does not teach you anything. You teach yourself, and you can do that whether you are in or out of a relationship. In reality, though, I think love really is, from what I see, of course, from my perspective, love, when some people fall in love, most people fall in love. What the love brings out in them is jealousy, insecurity, neediness. Some people obsession, they become fucking stalkers. Others, they brings out this, in their fear of being so emotionally vulnerable and attached. Associated with that is this overwhelming need to control. They want to control everything about you. They want to know where you are every second. They feel threatened about everything. So you see, love, even though in our minds it's a good thing, it's wonderful, it's full of roses and rainbows and whatnot. In reality, what relationship do you know that's like that? And they're full of pettiness and stupidity and jealousy and great shit. So, Psychology Today. Uh oh, let me see. Where did I get this from? Emotion ships. Yes. Yes, it was in Psychology Today. The type is so small. It's a miracle I could see it. Yeah, so that's a good. I was like, "Oh, this is so interesting." Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing is this checking in thing. That's overrated to me. That's people like, "Oh, I like to know, where my mate is. We check in with each other all day, or several times a day." And I'm like, "Why? Why do you do that? I don't want to hear from you while I'm at work, while I'm in meetings, while I'm commuting. I don't want to talk to you. I will talk to you when I get to where it is I'm going. I need to concentrate on this right now." And I know, a lot of women do that, and they get upset if the dude doesn't call him or if they text him or whatever and he doesn't respond back. It's like he's at work. Did you ever think that maybe he's busy? Maybe he's over there earning that money that these people are paying him? That he's doing that instead of texting with your ass, which is not what he's supposed to be doing on company time? But they don't get that. And so there to me that kind of expectation associated with love and commitment and relationships and dating or whatever is highly overrated. That's just to me that's you doing too much. You want to feel like you by doing all this connectivity that you're going to not feel lonely, and you won't feel so threatened, you won't be so jealous because he'll be, in contact with you all day. So it's basically you just expressing your insecurities and weakness of the mind to think that that's what you need to be doing. You're overrating that particular component of dating relationships. Well, widowed is you still single. I mean, you know, still not married, not no more. All right, and then let's move into the next one. Uh, this give people a chance shit. That shit is highly overrated. Although I'm all for, being flexible. Don't get me wrong, being flexible. But what my idea of flexibility is, okay, say you want a man who, makes six figures. Let's just use that. He makes six figures. Okay. Do you realize he could have his own he could be a contractor, a painter, a plumber, and make six figures? But most women, when they think about six figures, they think about somebody carrying a laptop and a briefcase and going into an office. Okay, that's flexibility. Maybe you say you want a man who's 6 feet. Well, you meet this dude and he's 5'9" and a half. You gonna throw him back? He fits everything else. You gonna throw him back because he's not 6 feet? Flexibility. Okay, compromise. That works. That works. Now, sometimes people do go all the way into picking somebody who is completely wrong for them. Okay, that's where this, give a brother a chance shit comes in. This motherfucker's nobody. He's a dusty, or he's like half dusty, and well, I could clean the dust off of him. I could fix him. I could make him better. I could polish him up. I could, love. I could love him into being a better man. I'll help him. No, you're not gonna do that. That shit is so overrated. Women be wasting years and years of their lives messing with some half dusty ass man trying to clean the rest of the dust off of him when in reality he's just getting dustier because some of them like to be dusty. They love it. And you just want to be with somebody. You just want to be with somebody. It's like you don't want to be alone. And a lot of this, a lot of women do that, right? They just choose some man. I mean, he's like a nobody. He's a nam. And they just want to be with him anyway, just so they won't be alone. I'm afraid to be alone, they say. So they have, this dust bunny, just nothing ass man all up in their house, in their life, in their bed, having kids by him, all kinds of stuff. This shit is overrated, totally overrated part of dating, love, and relationships. And in some cases, y'all even marry the fool. Just twisted. All right, let's talk about um, relationships of convenience. A lot of women, don't understand that. I know this is kind of hard to say it's overrated, but it is in a way because say you want uh you don't want to be lonely, so you let some man move in. We just made the video that went up this morning. Yes, whatever. I put that thing up about these chicken heads roosting in your house like a damn bird. So it's convenient for you, right, to let him move in because now you got readily available sex, you got some companionship, you feel like this is good, this is a good thing. That shit is overrated. Now you have some bed. I mean, yeah, you might be getting those benefits, but you spending more money because you feeding this motherfucker. He want to run the TV all the time and run and get all these extra cable channels, so your bills go up there, your electricity bill goes up, your grocery bill goes up, and then he don't have a car, so you driving him around everywhere. So now your gas and you wear out your tires and your car needs more repairs and stuff. So your costs are increasing, and he just living the life of Riley. I'm just like this shit. This relationships of convenience are way overrated. It may look good in the short term, but in the long term, your ass is gonna get used up. That makes no sense. Another way that love is overrated is that you go into a relationship with two different ideas of what love is. Do you ever think about that? You guys got to be on the same page. There's some books where some book everybody wrote about love styles or something that a lot of people like to quote. I don't know. I've never read it, but they talk about the different styles of how people show love, which is a good concept. So you got to make sure that you're on the same page because if you looking for say words of love and he doesn't do that, he does something else, or, he shows his quote love through sex or something, then you're not going to feel loved and neither is he. So there comes a point where you have to understand that you two are really not that compatible, and so this getting into a relationship and not really understanding what your partner considers to be love is overrated. You're assuming that you understand, you're going into it with that fantasy that love will conquer all and all that stuff. That's overrated. You need to get on the same page and understand if you can't get on the same page that the two of you shouldn't be together. That's incompatible no matter how much you might like dude. Another way that relationships suck is you focus on the first time that you did the do. You know how much focus women put on that? I mean, look at how much Steve Harvey, how much action his book got by telling women to wait 90 days. Okay, that first time for booties is like very important in a couple's relationship for some reason. And if you can't do it too soon, if you hold out too long, he's gonna think you just playing games, and then okay, then you do it, and then maybe it's not that good because both of you are nervous. It was awkward. You're like, okay, well, I'm glad we got that over with, kind of attitude. But I mean, then people want to go further, right? They be going into like their first kiss and, our first week together, our first week anniversary, our first month anniversary, our first, what, and they have all these firsts that they want to commemorate and all this shit. Let that shit go. What are you, 15? Come on now. Oh my God. And you think that, this is something that a lot of people do that, Saudia. They be doing that. It's a big deal, I think, for a lot of women because they want, all these second the judgments that men have about women and sex. And she slept with me so fast. She slept with me on the first date. She slept with me the first week. This and that. And it's like, yeah, your whole ass slept with her too. Let's not, don't get this shit twisted. It was two people in that bed, not just her. So don't be trying to make it sound like she was there by herself, nasty ass. So, but anyway, for women, with the double standards about sexuality, there are concerns that, that she played this game with him right and do it on the right day and all that old stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm at the point now, if I want the dick, I'm going to get it. It don't matter if it's the first day, the first week, the first month, or it takes me a year. Whenever I feel like it, I'm going to do it. If he don't want to do it, then that's fine. I'll move on to somebody else. But it's like, that shit is pointless to me. I mean, after a certain age, it's like ain't nobody no virgin. Come on now. Let's move on from this bullshit. It's stupid. Um, I think it's more important. versus being worried about whether he's going to think of you as a slut or something. It's more important that you spend the time to establish that this man respects you, that you respect him, and you admire what he's about, what he stands for and stuff like that, and that you guys get on some kind of mental rapport, because then that way, whenever you decide to sleep together, if you ever do, it will be good, and you'll connect on a different level than just physically. It will mean something to the two of you. It'll be just another layer of communication for the two of you. So in that respect, I, you know, I think it's a good idea to wait for, until you establish that. But I mean, some people feel that, in 2 or 3 days, and some people takes 2 or 3 months. So just work on your schedule. But don't put all that on it, okay? Just if you want to do it, and stop worrying about all that other shit. That shit is just so overrated. And pass, let's say, to 25 or 30 years old. Well, of course, with all we're gonna take, that goes for granted. You definitely do that. I would hope that any woman listening to my stream has enough intelligence, because there's some very bright women here, very mature, that they, no warning about them protecting themselves is necessary. That would be kind of like rudimentary discussion for these chicks, because they way past that point. Another way that relationships suck to me is assuming that because you love somebody, that it means you compatible. Where do y'all get that from? Sometimes you see the oddest couples and you're like, what the hell? How did this happen? They have nothing really in common, but they imagine themselves in love. They be fighting all the damn time. It's like, makeup to break up fighting, and then they get back together and it's high drama all the time. It's door slamming, people hanging up on each other and all this old stuff. Driving around trying to find the person. I know he with some bitch. Okay, you guys. I mean, something is wrong there. This is, but a lot of people, that's the kind of relationships that they think that love is pain, that love is that kind of stress and strife and drama, and they don't get that. That's not, love should not be like that. That's some kind of weird codependent, weird. I don't even know what to call it. You see, I'm stuttering. I don't even know what to call that, but there are a lot of people who opt for that kind of relationship that seems to be what they think you have to have. And if you don't have those kind of things going on, it means the person doesn't love you. Jealousy over some a perceived thing, or something. They want to see all of that, because then to me that means that they're loved. That shit is highly overrated, and that's not love either. Yes. I mean, this compatibility issue, sometimes of the people that you're most compatible with, and I have to throw this in there, the people that you're most compatible with, you won't have, really romantic attraction to. You're compatible with them in other ways, though. You really enjoy that person, you get along famously, you like to be in each other's presence, but there's no spark. And so it doesn't get off the ground as far as that goes. But I remember what I saw. Oh, I remember the video I saw I was going to talk about people's unrealistic expectations. Okay, so I saw this video on Facebook. This is what I was going to say earlier and I forgot. And this girl had posted this guy's picture from his profile and a sound file of a voicemail that he had left for her, and a text, I think, too. So she meets this dude at her job, right? And I think she said she worked at Marshall's or something. I mean, you know what I mean? We're not even talking about no high end store like Bergdorf's, or, something, you know what I mean? It was like Marshall's. Okay, so he comes in there, he want to get her number. Okay, first of all, nigga, you in Marshalls. Okay, let's start there. Okay, so then he gets her number. She gives it to him for some unknown reason. And so then he texts her, and then she didn't text back, most likely because she was still at work or doing whatever, commuting or whatever she was doing. And then he leaves her this voicemail that was so nasty it was retarded. He's going on about her playing games and he don't need her, and that he found some other, he got all these women and she ain't shit, and I mean all this stuff. All of this because she didn't text him back the way that he wanted her to, the speed that he wanted to. And they weren't even in a relationship. He had just got her number earlier that day. And so this was later that evening, and he was going crazy and, going, just losing his mind So you know she did the block and delete. You know this. I'm like, oh my, you saw that video? Wasn't that wild? I sat there, I played that shit 3 times, and my mouth was like this. That dude, man, she dodged a bullet with dude because dude was just weird. That's just like unreasonable, unrealistic expectations. And he just got her number, and that's how he was going off on her because she didn't text him back at the speed at which he thought she should. So I'm like, oh, well, guess what? You're going to be waiting forever now because they never going to text you back or call you or nothing. And don't come to my job. I'm going to tell them to shoot you on sight. All right, so now, yeah, that spark gets people in trouble though. When you talking about compatibility, that does not, that just leads people astray, and they call it being sprung. Uh, because they focus more on that part than they do on, are our values the same? Do we have similar morals? I mean, what do we have in common? I mean, do I even like this person as a person? What they stand for? They don't be thinking about none of that. They just go on that spark, that heartbeat, crazy stuff. Another thing that's overrated, especially with women, is the belief that you need to sacrifice yourself for love. Think about that. How many women do that? You give up your dreams, you give up your goals, you give up your friends, you give up some hobbies and interests. You may even start dressing different because he doesn't like the clothes that you wear. Your hair or something, the makeup, he wants you to curtail all of them activities, all that kind of stuff. Which thing happened to you, lady boss? The dude calling or somebody trying to change you? I don't know which one you mean. Yeah, she dodged, honey. Dude was beyond thirsty. He was like desert parched acting. Wow. Like he done staked a claim because I say so, huh? That's wild. These dudes are crazy. Call me from a different number the next day. He wouldn't want to do that because if I don't recognize the number, I just let it go to voicemail. I never answer my phone. Shit, half the time, even when it's my friends, I don't answer the phone. I don't know. I'm weird. I'll call them back though, but I might not answer right then. Your boyfriend would lose respect for you. You guys have to read this chat. They are in here going off talking about lighting folks on flames and stuff. But this sacrifice yourself, I mean, considered in a normal relationship, some compromise and negotiation is to be expected. Don't get me wrong. It ain't gonna always go your way. Sometimes, you'll have to give a little to get a little. And the same with your partner. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you sacrifice your self respect. Like they want you to do some odd kind of sex act that you don't want to do. And you do it, to please them. And then you feel like shit after you feel like low. That, you don't really respect yourself and you feel creepy and grimy and stuff. So you should never do that to yourself. You sacrifice your body, you sacrifice your goals, your dreams, your purpose in life. I mean, all of that. You sacrifice that because you want to keep this relationship. I think that you should be thinking about what you're sacrificing or what he's asked you to sacrifice and if it makes any sense. How's it going to benefit you to do that? Is it going to hurt you? I mean, and be realistic. Don't be having this mindset, well, love will solve every problem. Love will make it work out in the end. It's not going to happen. It's don't do that. You were a whole person when he met you. You need to continue to be that person. And if he can't get with that, then oh well. Another thing, way that is relationships are love, dating, and relationships, because I'm covering all three, are overrated. Is this expectation that you have to have this person who looks a certain way? Dudes had this bad one. She got to have a fat ass. She got to have, boobs. She got to have this and that. Of her face. Okay, you need somebody that you're attracted to, but it's breaking people down into body parts like that. That's really kind of crude. Some women do too. They want like, well, he got to have a six pack. And I want him to have, this kind of height and this kind of weight and this kind of, body physique and this, I mean, if the person you connect to on that kind of level might be a little different than what you thought. What's the problem? As long as you're attracted to them, you can't be repulsed. I'm not saying go get with a frog, but you know, sometimes, like I said, we have visions of what we want based on girlish fantasies and Hollywood movies and shit that we read when we was teenagers. Sometimes, ladies, we get older, you got to do a reality check on what you think you need and want, and think about where you that idea came from. Because yeah, you want him to look a certain way. There's nothing wrong with saying I want a man that I find attractive. Okay, that's a pretty broad umbrella, and that leaves a lot of room. I mean, how you think a woman who was always dated brothers, right? Brothers have a certain look, they got a certain kind of swag. Then she meets this white guy from Ireland and falls madly in love and marries him, and you just can't get enough of him. Okay, but did he have to look a certain way? I mean, obviously he looked completely different from that other certain way. So you see what I mean? Sometimes we have to look at ourselves and broaden our horizons. And having, these things where it has to be this certain way, that to me is kind of overrated. It's in the library? Wow, how did that happen? Oh, well, I'm glad. I didn't know that libraries had it. It seemed kind of risque for a library, but whatever. Because I be using my words. You know how I talk? It's in the book. All right. Another thing that I think is overrated is marriage and children. Now, we've talked about this several times. People think, well, I have to date because I'm looking for a husband. I only want to date people that I could marry and someone I could fall in love with and, be a husband material. And I'm like, I don't know about all that. I don't think you need to worry so much about marriage, especially these days, because most of the men aren't thinking about marriage. So if that's your sole goal, you might run into a problem meeting it. What's wrong with just having a nice relationship with somebody, and he stay in his house and you stay in yours? I mean, you guys enjoy each other's company when you get together. And not everybody's meant to be a mother or a father. Not everybody's meant to parent. I mean, you guys, these kind of things, assuming that this is what you need to do with your life is highly overrated. This idea that people have this script that they have to follow. Well, you grow up and you start dating, and then you date in college, and then you find your husband, and then you get married, and then you have children, and then okay, I mean, why? Why do you have to follow that script? Why can't you do what it is that makes you happy? Something, it might be completely different from that, you know? And then you got to look at the fact, too, that, I mean, you don't need marriage, you don't need kids. I mean, they're nice, don't get me wrong, they're nice to have, when they're getting on your nerves. But so many instances lately of sons attacking and even killing their mothers. I don't know if you guys been following those stories. I do. I have all my Google alerts set up so they be sending me the little links, and it's kind of frightening, the trend that's increasing. So when you start thinking about that, uh, maybe it's not such a good thing to have kids when, it's just something to think about. That's what I'm thinking. It's something to think about. All right. The fantasy, this is the other thing that's overrated. The fantasy that love is enough. Love is enough. Totally overrated. Remember when the show we had a couple, I don't know, a couple, I think last week when I was talking about women and how some of them had this idea that cheating and something else was the only things that they would want to break up for, and everything else can be worked through. And I was bugging my eyes at that, like, what? You gonna work through everything else? No, we not gonna do that. Um, love does not solve relationship problems. It just does not. It keeps you stuck in a relationship with problems in it, where you batting your head up against a brick wall trying to make something work that should be let go. This person and you are not meant to be. It's not compatible. But these women have this idea in their head that this is what love is. That love is struggle. That is torture. That is pain, and that it's you got to sacrifice, you got to give of yourself. Sometimes you gonna cry, but that's your man, and you got to make this work, girl. Well, a lot of people think it is. That's what I'm saying. It's like that shit is highly overrated. That you got to make it work shit. That shit is like, what? What are you talking about? Your communication will suck, right? But you still want to stay there. And it's like if you have poor communication to the point where you fighting all the time and breaking up and making up, that means that you two, your problems are never going to get resolved because you aren't communicating well. It's just not going to happen. You're just going to be going in circles for forever with the same shit, recurring, repeated. That's why you have people that needs makeup to break up relationships where they stay in that cycle for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And they just never move away from it. It's just I couldn't do it. Another thing that's overrated: being part of a couple. Period. Why do you think you have to be in a partnership? Why can't you be happy being single? I mean, it's nice to have company, don't get me wrong, but you don't have to do everything together. Some couples even like they get matching clothes and shit, and they want to, matching colors and matching shoes. They got the same Nikes and stuff. Not, I don't know. I just can't be bothered. Um, there was an article actually that I ran into. Where it is? Oh, here it is, right here, talking about uh, the personalities of people who stay single and like it. Also from Psychology Today. Um, and it gives a lot of positive traits about people who are single, that they're more optimistic, they experience more personal growth, they experience more autonomy and self-determination, and it says the feelings of personal mastery are not greater, but they get more protection from negative feelings out of their personal mastery. I don't know, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. I just want to hit these highlights. The single people who enjoy being single are more extroverted. Uh, they value freedom more. They're more self-sufficient. They like handling problems and challenges mostly on their own, which, as you could understand, that might be a problem in a relationship because they want, your partner wants you to share your problems with them. They're more open-minded. They have more original ideas. They're more curious and more imaginative. They're less neurotic. They're less likely to be tense or moody or to worry a lot. They're more agreeable, more considerate, kind and trusting, more conscientious, more reliable, organized, and thorough, and more and not overly sensitive to rejection. Now, see, notice they qualified it by people who are single who liked being single. So when you get down to that last one about, sensitive about rejection, those are people who don't like to be single and they put all their hopes on you that you're the one, like I talked about earlier, and that this is going to be some, magical end to their loneliness and horniness, and they'll have a partner for life and companionship and all this stuff. And then when you reject them, see all their little fantasies go up in smoke. But that's because they put too much on it. They should not have done that. You do need those kind of things when you are married, but a lot of women, as I found out, especially the women who have never been married, have a lot of very unrealistic fantasies about what marriage is about. It's kind of trippy and kind of weird. It's like, where did you guys get this from? Men are not like gods. They be like, oh, my husband, and when we get married, it's gonna be like this. And when find my husband, and God's gonna bring my husband, and they have all this, you know, stuff associated with this man. It's like you gotta remember, dudes are flesh and blood, and most of them are stupid. So you thinking you're gonna have all this magical, kingly prince on a white steed kind of behavior, and then you're gonna find out he likes to pick his toenails and leave them all over the floor and fart all the time. You're gonna be very disappointed. But that's who he is. He's gonna forget your birthday, forget your anniversary. That this is the reality of a relationship. Men are not perfect creatures. Okay, so all these women that have these fantasies that because they get married, the man is going to magically be this perfect person, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. He's never going to be that. And this idea that he is, you're overrating relationships terribly. It's unbelievable. Okay, another thing that's overrated about relationships is that you have to put a label on it. Oh my God, how many women they want to know? Well, I want to know what we're doing. I want to know what this is. Why? What's difference does it make? Whatever it is that y'all are doing, I mean, just keep doing it. If you don't have, no, nobody's talked about being one on one, no kind of commitment and stuff, then why are you tripping? Just keep dating other dudes. That's what he's doing. You know what I mean? But you pressing him to, like, put a label on it and tell you that you his girlfriend and introduce you as his woman and all this stuff. I don't know where this comes from. That all the women want all this, like, connectedness and ownership and these labels and ties to a man. I'm like, I don't never want to be your girlfriend. Don't you ever call me that shit unless you discuss it with me first. Cause you sit up there and try to introduce me as your girlfriend. I'm gonna hurt your feelings. Don't do that. You tell your friends, "Oh, this my lady." This and that. No, I'm not. I don't know where the fuck you got that idea from, but I am not. And I will say that because I want everybody to be very clear. I'm not the kind to mince words and bite my tongue. So don't ever try to do or try to do that where they try to spring it on you just to kind of gauge your reaction and see what you're gonna do. You will get your feelings hurt, every last one of them, if you do that to Deb. Don't do that. We better talk about this shit and come into some kind of agreement about what we're going to do as a pair. Where's the relationship going? You know what they always want to be asking that question. And it's like, why can't you decide where the relationship's going? Why you need to ask him? What, is he your daddy? You need permission? You want him to tell you? Ugh, that drives me. As you can see, I hate that. I hate that question. I hate that. You want to, that's my man, that's my girlfriend, that's my husband, that's my fiance, that my baby daddy. I mean, just labels. You just want a label, and it means a lot to some women. I don't know why, but to me, that shit is overrated because even if he is your fiance, even if he is your husband, even if he is your man, your boyfriend, whatever, what does that mean? What does that change for you? How does that do anything different in your life? Because we see how they act. So, like all the single women talking about all the married men sliding into their DMs. And even on their profile pictures, have pictures of their wives and stuff and kids and shit right on their profile. And still be trying to hook up with some woman in DMs on social media. Trifling pieces of shit. So you all worried about a label, and the foundation for your shit is raggedy. You want the label though, but the foundation is toe up. And you're not paying too much attention to that. You more focused on, the title. And I'm like, psh, you can keep all that. You used to be, Tisha. Oh, you slapped the camera away? Yeah, no. Yeah, because then they be trying to perpetrate a fraud talking about this my woman. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Don't even think about it. I don't like you like that. We just on a date. Another thing that's overrated. Oh my God, people lose their minds. It's like this younger generation are really tied to this particular thing. What somebody's relationship status is on social media. Have y'all caught that? Oh my God, they write to the advice column. He changed his status to single. Does that mean that we're broken up now? Oh, he won't. He won't change his status to in a relationship. What does that mean? And it's like, are you in a relationship or not with the dude? I mean, why do you care that he advertises everything, all his business on social media? That shit to me is totally overrated. I don't get that. I don't understand why, but it's like a certain, I mean, this is the age, the era that we are living in now. And so for these people, these young people who grew up in this, internet era since MySpace and all of that, they put a lot of importance on that stuff. I don't want nobody knowing my business like that. You don't need to know. I will never put my relationship status on social media. I don't, you'll know if I invite you to the wedding. That's all you need to know. And other than that, you don't need to know nothing. I'm telling you, they go berserko about what somebody put on social media or didn't put. And they don't have any pictures of us on their profile, and he won't like any of my posts and all this old stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I'm just losing their damn minds. All right, and another one that is overrated. I kind of touched on this earlier, and it is a dude that has a six-figure income. A lot of women look, he got to be making six figures. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Around here, six figures, you making like $130,000 a year. That's considered just like low income. That ain't shit in the San Francisco Bay Area. Who is so high to live here? I mean, everybody's got roommates. People sometimes got two or three folks living in a two or three bedroom. Everybody's sharing. It's just that bad to live here. It's that high. I mean, if you want to have any other kind of enjoyment of your life, like go on trips and go out to dinner and go to the movies and stuff, you have to have a roommate. Either that, or you need to be making at least 200 grand, or be married. That then you got them two incomes. That works too. But at the six figure thing is, I think sometimes women don't think about what that means. Okay, if you have a guy who's making, 100, $200,000 a year, he's not working a 40-hour work week. He's working like a 75 to 90-hour work week. He's going to be busy all the time, because not only is he at that level, he's trying to get higher. Especially he's in corporate America. He owns his own business. He's trying to, like, make his business bigger. Maybe he wants to expand his business. Maybe he needs some new equipment he wants to buy that costs, $250,000 or something. So he's gonna be hustling. He got this hustle on. Even if he's not actually working, he's on the phone making appointments. He's, setting up things with people to look at something, property, or whatever, look at, to do estimates and whatnot. I mean, he's gonna be a busy dude. So sometimes, and this is dependent on you. So that's what I'm saying. It's overrated in that people don't really think about it. But you have to think about, if you're the kind of woman that's really busy too, then that might work for you. That would be perfect. Both of y'all busy as heck and barely see each other, but it's okay because that both of you live in that lifestyle. But if you are a woman who family is important to you, you want your man to be there, interactive, put his kids in bed at night, read them stories, help them with their homework, have dinner together with the family, and all this kind of stuff, and spend time with you and the kids on the weekends. Don't look for a man with that kind of job. Don't do it. Find you a regular working dude, a 9 to 5 dude. He might work in some career where he might make that kind of money, maybe in tech or something. But usually, even they have to put in some time at night and on the weekends, writing programs and whatnot. But this is something to think about. Think about what your needs are and what kind of family life and home life you want, and make sure that you get a man who can fulfill that need. Because if you go get one of these high-powered, busy executive dudes that's flying all over the place and working, them long hours like that, you're gonna be very sad and lonely and be in your relationship by yourself. That's how you're gonna feel. So that's why I say, that shit. Just, I want a man with six figures. That shit's overrated. For some people, not for everyone. Some people it might work. So, anybody have any questions? Oh, you was in LA, girl? Yeah, I don't. And it's the same in Oakland. You smell dope on every corner. We don't call it dope, we call it weed. But yeah, they be on the bus with it. They come wafting by you, eyes all red, just a hot mess. A hot mess. Yeah, well, these are, all things for you guys to think about. Like I said, um, nothing here is written in stone. I don't, really want to tell people exactly what to do. My job is to get you to think about why you do what you do, and if it's bringing you the results that you desire, and if not, then I give you some ideas to change it. That's what I do here. I get you on the track to think about it, and then to make adjustments so that you are, what's the motto? Living your best life. Sometimes people get stuck in a pattern. Like I said, you got on this track when you was in high school to college, and you never really thought about it anymore after that. You're not that woman anymore. So why should you be looking for that same kind of man? That don't even make no sense. So in conclusion, ladies, in conclusion, um, oh yeah, that's right. I read this study. Oh, you smell the weed? Girl, it's like you get contact just walking up and down the street in Oakland. It's ridiculous. And I found this study, and they was talking about it was a study done at the College of Health and Human Development at Penn State University, and they wanted to figure out what role being feeling love played in how we feel on the day to day. Feeling loved, how we makes us feel about ourselves on the day to day. And they concluded that real life that romance doesn't seem to really matter to most people. It's instead the small non-romantic everyday gestures that display kindness and compassion that made us feel the most loved. And I thought, okay, this is some really really interesting study. Okay, so it says the majority of the participants were over 50. So those of you younger, keep that in mind. So these are people that have experienced love in probably several different relationships, and had kids and all stuff. So they could answer all the questions, and they rated 60 different scenarios where quote love might be felt. The situations were positive. They had to rate them as a positive situation for feeling love, neutral for feeling loved, or negative for feeling love. And they gave you the option of romantic partners, nature itself, or just pets, or pets too. So you had different options: inanimate, scenery or whatever. I mean, and then people. And then, like an example, I copied off of there. It says, if most people would feel loved, if would most people feel loved when someone wants to know where they are at all times, or would someone feel love when they spent time with their friends, or would they feel love when they came home and their pets greet them, or would they feel love when the sun was shining warmly on their body? Okay, just some of the questions that they asked. And what they found was that when it comes to feeling love and showing love, most people that responded to the survey felt that it was more important that their partner walk the walk instead of just talk the talk. What that means is they wanted you to demonstrate the love, not just talk about it. So you got them dudes talking about, oh, I love you, but they don't really do shit. Okay, a lot of women get stuck on the words, but they're telling you that you probably don't really feel that love. You just hanging on to the words because that's all you have. And you trying to make it work, but it's not really. You feel empty inside. So in other words, behaviors were more important than indicators of love than words. And in the study, people felt that a little kid snuggling with them was more loving than someone saying, I love you. And I thought, wow, that's fascinating. And those are the two highest ranked things. Snuggling, that was one of the two highest ranked things, like snuggling with with a kid, and the other one was showing compassion when you were going through a rough time. So those were the top two things. The third highest was having a pet being happy to see you when you come home. And the fourth thing, so see how far down on the list I love you is? Came in number four. Now these are, like you said, for people mostly over 50. So they have a different perspective on this whole thing than someone who's very young and maybe hasn't been married, and they're still in their first relationship or whatever. They're gonna want to hear those words because it's all new to them. Whereas when you get older, you like, fuck the words. Don't ever say the shit. I want to see it in action. That's where I am in my life. So in other words, so like I saw these you watch these videos on YouTube where they show dogs doing what they call zoomies. We know our dogs never did that, but they do these zoomies where they just like zoom, 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 racing through the house. It's like a high speed, so they call it a zoomie. So in other words, like if your dog is doing zoomies with excitement because you came home, or your cat rolls on his back so you can pet it, then that most the people in the survey found that to be more of a display of loving than somebody's boyfriend just standing there saying I love you. I'm like, I could see that because animals are just so, their love is just so pure. I mean, they love you, and that's just it. They don't care about nothing else. It's not related to your income. It's not related to how you look, your weight, your height, nothing. They just love you because you're you. You know. And they were also on the same page when it comes to what does not make them feel loved: controlling or possessive people. So all you dudes who want to try to control everybody, that's for you. Your woman is not feeling loved when you do that. She feels burdened and you look stupid. People do not feel love when people do that. Neither did people feel love when someone wanted to know where they were all the time. So see, again, everything that has to do with controlling, obsessiveness, jealousy. Those things did not make sane people of maturity feel love. Now, I had to put that caveat in there because sometimes people um, have different ideas about stuff. So, bottom line though, as we go through life, we're going to experience many different kinds of people. We're going to have many different kinds of relationships. You're going to fall in and out of love a lot. Like me, I used to be in love one week, and the next week I'm like, I'm tired of this. Bye. I don't know. They used to tell me that I was fickle. My grandmother used to say I was fickle, and I'm like, I still don't know what that means. But um, I think that people have to be a little bit more open to what could come their way, what people call blessings could come their way in the form of someone who's going to love them. It doesn't always have to be a romantic partner that's going to make you feel loved. It can be like we were hearing about earlier, emotion ships with close friends, even family members that are there for you and got your back when you need them, and they can help you, find your way and get out of drama and, heal yourself if you need to. They can give you the courage that you need to get back out there, the courage that you need to move forward in a relationship if you've had your heart broken and maybe you're a little, gun shy or something. Your emotionships with other people are what's going to make you help you get through life, as you go through all these different relationships. And some of your relationships will be very healthy ones. I mean, that you will benefit greatly from those. You will become a better person. You will discover parts of yourself that were in there that were just amazing that you didn't know were even there. It's not that the relationship gave them to you, it's that the relationship helped you feel safe and secure in a different way so that you allowed yourself to bring these things out. That's what that means. And then most of us though are going to get into relationships that are very unhealthy with people that are abusive and controlling and who don't do their fair share and who are takers instead of givers, and who want to dump all the responsibility on you. I mean, there's just a myriad disastrous ways that you could be in some relationships that are just going to take you down unless you get out of this mindset that it can be worked out, worked through, and that you can save it with your love. Your love is going to be the best thing. Oh yes, thank you, Robin. Yes. Oh, you guys are good. They be like posting the stuff in there, linking it before I even have to think about it. And don't think that love is scarce. It might not come from the person that you wanted to, but love is all around you. Like when I come on my chats, I feel the love from you guys. My moderators, I know, love my black ass. I mean, who else is gonna come and do something like this? I mean, you know what I mean? They're here like religiously. They are here to support me, and so I can give to you. So that what can that be except for love? I mean, it ain't like you're gonna be busting slobber or nothing, but you know what I mean? It's like that sister love kind of thing going on. And we love to help you guys, and so there's love coming into your life, but it may not be the way that you thought it was coming. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to open your eyes and accept that, there are people around here that care for you and that want you to be your best and that are going to help you by devoting their time and energy and effort to make that happen for you. All you have to do is your part. Okay, you have to do your part. And so I know you do. That's what I say, but I just never, sometimes, I have to think about this kind of stuff and say, yeah, this is true. I mean, we all think about love from a romantic partnership perspective. But when you have people that care about you and got your back and that help you succeed, that help you, improve yourself, that help you become your best self, those people love your ass. And you need to appreciate that shit. You looking for it to come from some man, which it might, but I'm just saying, open your eyes to where love is coming into your life from other places. Don't always limit that it has to come from this one thing. Otherwise, you are morose and depressed and sad because you feel like, nobody loves you. You don't have nobody in your corner. You all alone and all this kind of stuff. You guys have some people around you love. Open your eyes, please. Open them and see where it is. And the number one person that you need to love is yourself. Okay? Love yourself. And once you feel that you're worthy of loving yourself, because you got to feel worthy of loving yourself in your own eyes. And then other people can't help but love you because you just emanate like joy and happiness, and you give love and appreciation to others. You envelop them in that warmth, and they give it right back to you. So don't hold on to it thinking that you can only love somebody that's a man in a romantic partnership. Look at your friends, look at your emotion ships. And if you missed that part of the show, go back and listen to it. It's a very, very brilliant concept. I did not think it up. I wish I had, but I did. I can't take credit for it, but I definitely are going to be promoting the hell out of that shit because I thought that was fucking brilliant. Okay, so you guys, you know, come on now. We'll be, everything will be all right. So that concludes my show for today. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow, if I'm going to do a recorded video. I can't decide. I keep changing my topics around, and so I don't even know. Excuse me, I don't even know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. It's gonna be something that's on my list. But I'm noticing that I'm hopping around and picking the shows, not in the order I wrote them on my calendar, but I think I'll do this one today. And so it's kind of getting interesting around here. But I really appreciate all of you guys, and I love you, and I want the best for you. And any way I can help you to make that happen, you just let me know. Post on the comment section. If you have something that you want to say to me, just send it to survivingdating@gmail.com. If you have an advice question that you would like if it's answered on Tell It Tuesday, what the fuck Tuesday, whatever we call it these days, then you use the advice submission form. There is a link that will be in the show description page. Just scroll down and click it. Or you can also see the button at the top of the YouTube channel. It says Get Advice. You click that, and that's the direct button to the form. So either way, you send in your advice questions on the form. You can send suggestions for topics, I comments that you want to make about the chat that maybe you didn't want to make publicly. Whatever want to tell me about myself, whatever you want to do, you just write that to survivingdating@gmail.com. And I will see you guys either, like I said, either tomorrow I might do a pop up, but definitely we will be back on Saturday at 4 o'clock, and again on Sunday at 4 o'clock. This is Pacific time. It'll be 7 if you're on the East Coast. So you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your V Day, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye bye.